Well, I'm here with Andrew. So, how's it going today?
Good.
Good. Well, let's just have you talk about your business and what you do and, the kind of customers you serve and how you get it done.
Yeah, definitely. So I work in audio post production. Uh, the clients are from commercial, residential, from podcasts like this, or going all the way out to working on feature films, commercials. I work on documentaries, all sorts of stuff. Do lots of audiobooks, and just reels.
Okay. A lot of that. So, post production, for those of us at home, what does that mean?
So for post production, it's all the content that's after the recording's done. So production like this would be what's being recorded actively, but it's not always perfect when you're, especially on film sets and locations, when you're out in the field. There's all sorts of variables that happen out there. You'll get plane noise, hums and buzzes, all that kind of thing, glitch pops, various things that can go wrong. Crew noise, all these stuff like that happens all the time on location. I mean, you got random pedestrians sometimes, like on news channels. They'll just walk in and start screaming. That's all the stuff I clean up and take care of and fix up and make sure, everything's very intelligible.
That's interesting. So, I mean, I guess people would certainly notice if there was no one doing post production because you'd hear all these random screams, I guess, and
It sounds bad.
helicopters, and there's a lot of it. So you don't hear trains, I imagine, go by every so often.
Oh, everything happens out in the field. There's not a single thing. There's always traffic noise. Always traffic noise. If you're recording outside, guaranteed traffic noise. 100% of the time.
Okay, so what kind of equipment do you use to get around this?
Yeah. So if I'm actually doing on-set recording, so mostly I do post production, but I also own the field rig as well. And it depends on the microphones that are used on location, can help conceal and remove a lot of that noise depending on how you place that mic, the different types of mics that you use. There's condenser mics, dynamic mics. Each of those have different pickup patterns. The pickup pattern can, change the dynamics of how that responds to the active noise around you. So based on where you place that on a body, if it's a lapel mic, for example, or if it's a boom microphone, which is normally overhead, those have a narrow pickup pattern. So it means it can actually reject a lot of the side noise out from the actual noise outside in field.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I'll just throw this in there. I am a musician as well. So, this is kind of cool. Do you ever do any studio work or?
Yeah,
me?
I've worked with Marilyn Manson. I've worked with Ozzy Osbourne.
Okay, heard of them.
Yeah. I name dropped those. I worked with The Time. I worked with Cynthia Johnson from Lip Sync.
Okay.
Yeah, I've dumped. I've graduated.
Okay. You've been around. Okay.
No, so yeah, I went to IPR. Is actually where I went. They were more focused on the audio engineering thing, which is the recording aspect. But they didn't really teach much of the post-production. They did teach it, but it was more textbooks oriented than it was actually, hey, what happens, when you're out in the field. That's really where my drive started, is at IPR. I was playing in a band before going to college and all that. So that was 2008. I used to tour quite a bit. But then I realized touring wasn't my thing, really. In short, two bands that I was in, one of them wanted to change into more of a screamo band, and I wasn't really interested in that. I like blues and jazz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a big difference. But at the time, there's, high school. So punk rock, so I was cool until we merged into that screamo thing. So, okay. So, Blink-182, Green Day, we're playing a lot of that. All right. But we're playing a lot of our own material, and we're making a lot of our own material. Then eventually kind of went into the idea of, playing as a cover band versus actually doing the our own material, and I was very interested in creating more than playing everyone else's content. Well, I like playing people's content, never had issues yet, but it's just something about creating yourself.
Sure.
Is what makes things better.
Yeah. So were you into audio back then? Is that when this?
Oh yeah, so I always tell the story about it. It was just like a weird magical moment. It just happened to be, my brother decided to grab a guitar one day. And he wanted to learn, but he wasn't really ever playing it. He just bought one just for it. It was a Telecaster.
Sure.
And sure enough, things there laying, I was passing by, walking through his room. I was probably 16, and sun, just a beam of light just shined right on the guitar, reflected it right back at me. And that was just that very key moment to like, hey, I just want to figure out. I mean, it just, that light just said, hey, go grab it.
Yeah. I mean, were you like the studio engineer for your band at the time?
No. The engineering didn't happen until I went to college.
Okay.
So
Is that?
yeah, so I was playing guitar. Actually, when I picked that guitar up, that very moment, I remember I knew nothing, barely nothing. I played it upside down.
Oh yeah. So Peter did that on purpose.
So, right. And it's also getting a feel between a righty and a lefty guitar, like I didn't know any of those things. I'm left-handed, so, obviously it helps to play the opposite way than a righty. So, but that was my, beginning experience there. That was just the, signals. I didn't care about high school anymore. It was all about the music. It was all about creating. It was all about playing in a band. And because the band got successful, high school started, going southbound for me.
It happens.
Exactly. So we were doing a lot of touring and all that. You don't make a lot of money when you tour.
I'll vouch for that. Yeah. So is that sort of what's spurred the interest in just producing or post-production or just audio or?
Yeah, it was, a mix of a bunch of different things. It was, the second band I got into, they just wanted to play Led Zeppelin all the time, honestly. I like Led Zeppelin, but playing it literally, the only thing they wanted to play was Led Zeppelin. Became a little pain point. It wasn't that either. We were like, the whole reason I joined that band, we were like, oh yeah, let's create and actually, play that more blues, indie rock and, just rock in general. And I was like, sweet, this is up my alley. Yeah, good genres, everything's there. Then the lead singer to the band, he really drove on that Led Zeppelin thing. So that kind of like segued me into looking into the engineering side, which led me to IPR. So that's why I brought that up. So that's kind of where it went. It was like,
right on the list. Yeah.
But I already had a little mixer. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Is a little Shure mixer. Is like a 60 channel. No, is it the Mackie? That's what it was. But at the time, yeah, it's Mackie. But whatever, I won't know. Well, there you go. But in short, it's a little analog mixer that you hot plug everything in and get it going, right? So that was just the small beginning of what I could afford on a setup. And once you enter college, at IPR at the time had a full studio, and I thought it's daunting, looking at the board for the first time. It's a little different when you go a little tiny compared to the actual full size channel. Yeah. And I didn't know nothing then for that either. It's like, well, it's all analog here, and here's a tape deck, and how do you, do all that stuff? Right. And eventually, through education and all that, you learn that, every single channel is its own thing. It's not as daunting when you break it down to that.
Sure. So, well, now you're here. So you mentioned commercials, films, anything we might recognize, or what kind of projects you've been on?
Yeah, the Mystery Science Museum 3000, all that.
Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, I guess so. I robbed. No, the tip title got me, but yeah, I've done that a while. But yeah, I've done that. The 100. God, I try to think of other things I've typed. Some of the things go uncredited. I got a full IMDb profile going.
Okay.
It's something. Yeah, something. I don't. You know. But yeah, right now I'm working on 2 feature films. One's called A Chocolate for Christmas is currently what I'm actively working on. It's going out for full distribution. There's a lot of work that goes into that because we go into what's called QC, quality control, to make sure that, when it goes out to TV theater and all that, it hits a certain loudness. Sure. There's no problems that are being transferred over to our listeners, whoever that audience is going to be. Because you don't want it to be super loud, just start speakers and condemn cheering and whatnot, So that film's going through full distribution in that end. I am the re-recording mixer for that. In audio post, there are several different departments.
Okay.
Dialogue editing, sound effects editing, Foley recording, PER. There's a list of departments down along the line, and for my services specifically, I normally serve as a dialogue editor, but I've handled multiple areas. And working in a business as in a freelance aspect, even though I work with bigger clients and bigger studios and stuff like that, I still serve on the outside of that, and I actually work internal of those studios. So that's how I end up doing various duties. Normally on a full-size film like those movies I mentioned, Chocolate for Christmas, and this documentary I'm currently working on, which is called Song and Dance. There's a full crew behind it, and each of those things are departmentalized. So you'll have someone working dialogue editing, someone working the final mix, someone doing the Foley and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I mean, these are big film studios, obviously. How do you get connected with them?
I asked a stupid question online one day. Someone chimed in, and then the next chimed in, and then they started recommending me. Came word of mouth, and then I got a business.
That was it?
That was literally it. Not a joke. It was just kind of like,
what's the play-by-play on that? or
it was it was a forum online, Facebook. Yeah. Well, it actually started a little bit before that. I had a business going locally here, and word of mouth was just coming around, and Target, brand marketing stuff. They reached out like, hey, we got this and that we need help and work on, and I do some of that. Then you'd have the next person come in line. Then, someone just word of mouth. Honestly, for me, it's been word of mouth. Like, I never had to really fight for business. So, I mean, it's a little odd. It was just strange. Yeah, for me, it was, I did good on the job. I always cared about it. It wasn't always about the money. Money is a big factor. I don't just do this audio post-production life either. I work for a company called CDI as well currently. And there I do audio and video work. I do AV integration, which is installing AV equipment. I go to all the different judicial branches here. I work on all the courthouses and help install those. I install the restaurant systems, Biamp. Those are manufacturers. Probably some you probably heard in conference rooms. Read Extra and stuff like that. You're pricing panels on the desk.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I actually program a lot of that stuff, or either install it or configure it. And it can be from commercial to residential things. It's kind of I work in the corporate America, plus I also do my own thing, and I also have kids. I also have a house. Everyone asks, about my balance of life. Well, what balance?
Well, or a bit of an integration, I guess.
Yeah, it's a mix of everything. And I'm not joking when I say I don't sleep probably 2 hours a day.
Mm.
Really?
You don't sleep 2 hours a day?
I only sleep.
So you sleep 8?
Yeah. See, okay. You got you got me. But really, I only sleep about 2 hours a day. So I do 8 hours with the company CTI. 8 hours between the freelance life, and then in between there, kids, wife, house. I handle all my own electrical, plumbing, and all that stuff. So, yeah, I've just kind of do a bit of everything on my own.
Well, hey, you're doing it. Hey, you're really doing it.
Yeah, somehow, some way. So that's why, my brain's always in one place. And I actually am diagnosed with ADHD. So when I asked that in the previous segment, I was wondering about that. I was like, well, how do you manage memory against ADHD? Because really, my mind's always in like 500 different places at all times.
All right. Looks like we're out of time. So,
Is that it?
this
You all right, man? Let's wrap it up.
mic drop.
Yeah, here you go.
Hey, it's Will with the Podcast Crew team. Spotlight is a vidcast shot at the Podcast Crew Studios in Minneapolis. We would love for you to be our guest. Email us at the email address on your screen below to get a copy of the upcoming schedule. It's free, it's easy, and it's a great way to try out a podcast or a vidcast with our pro team. We do an in-person, in-studio version if you're in the Twin Cities area, and also an online version if you're somewhere else. We'd love to have you, hear your story, and help you start your podcast journey. Thanks. Get in touch today.